Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having the most incredible day. If this is your first time on my channel, my name is Sebastian and I welcome you guys with open arms. I do tea video, pop culture videos every single day. So if you're looking for a new messy best friend who's gonna spill all the tea, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I would be so incredibly grateful. You guys, we need to talk about Miss Bethenny Frankel because listen, there's a lot of rumors going around that she's going to be on Legacy, you know, the new one from New York, that she's part of that cast. And she's actually said before that if they brought in the original cast that, you know, from the first season, that she would come back just for that temporary, you know, one time only type season. So she hasn't really closed the door to coming back only to do a Legacy, you know, one time only thing. But she is, however, talking about why she left Real Housewives of New Jersey, girl. She will slap me if she ever heard me say that. Of New York. And actually, it's a lot of tea, okay? But first of all, listen, I'm just going to tell you before I play, I had to watch that 3 times and I had to look at the comments because, girl, I did not understand. But here's what she had to say and then we can talk.
A business's personal housewife story is that people thought that I left the Housewives because of money. If I had stayed, it would have been because of the money. I left because I wanted to leave. I was ready to leave. And I used a technicality deal point as my excuse. I had just lost someone very close to me and I went to work when the show came back. I didn't want to. Pros play hurt. I'm a professional. I show up on time. I deliver. That's my reputation in business. So there was a new point, and this new deal term was because of housewives in different cities who just decided not to film because they didn't like other people, because they were at odds. So they decided not to film. So it affects the quality of the show. So this became something where they had to add this into all contracts, just like the Bethenny clause named after me. This new point said that if you don't appear in an episode, then you won't be paid for it, which does make sense. It just doesn't make sense for me because I already knew that the production company said we'd never air an episode without you. They told me that directly. I have receipts. And I already knew that I'm a professional and there would just be no situation where I wouldn't show up for work. But sometimes these little things, if you're thinking of leaving and you don't want to be there, you know, I'm the type of person that one thing will give me an excuse. So I said no. And the reason for that term was housewives in other cities who weren't filming. They just decided not to film. And that was just my excuse. And then the powers that be said we would have changed it, etc. But every little thing matters. And, you know, I don't bluff. And I just was looking for a reason, and that was a good reason. That's a little business's personal nugget about the fact that I knew that I had showed up for work every single day, and I experienced a tremendous loss. So obviously I'm going to show up for work every day under any circumstance. There can be no more extreme circumstance than that. The little tiny minute detail that would have never come to pass, it was the impetus. That was the catalyst that just said, boom, not going back.
So it starts off by saying that she lost someone very close to her, which we all know that it's her ex-boyfriend, Dennis, who unfortunately passed away. And at that time, she had to film for Housewives, and she showed up even though she was mourning the loss of her, you know, ex-boyfriend, and that she was incredibly sad and depressed, but she showed up. She, you know, one thing about Bethenny is we know she is professional AF, honey. So she talks about a new deal term, bitch, I had to Google it. So that's like a new clause or something on a contract. And because some other housewives were refusing to film with some housewives, let me know if you guys, okay, so who refused to film with who? I know that a lot of people were refusing to film, well, back then they were refusing to film with, okay. So she's talking about a new clause in the contracts that was basically because some other housewives in other cities refused to show up when they had to film with certain people. So Bravo was like, girl, we cannot do this. You know, we need to figure out how to do this because you just can't choose or pick when you know, who you film with and what you show up to or not. So she goes on to say that they added that in all of the contracts. So all housewives had to, you know, literally, if you wanted to come back on the show, you had to sign this in the contract stating, you know, you cannot pick or choose when you're going to be filming with people. And basically what had happened was that in this clause, they said that, girl, listen, if you don't show up, and you don't appear in an episode, you're not getting your money, honey. And to be honest, it makes sense. You know what? It does make sense because reality shows, they want to see the good, the bad, and the drama. You know what I mean? So if you're having problems with somebody and you just decide not to show up, that honestly like takes everything to, you know, derails the show. You know what I mean? And it loses authenticity. Girl, I can't say that word. So basically what Bethenny was saying is like, look, it makes sense that Bravo needs to do this, but hey, I showed up. You know what? Even though I lost someone, I'm mourning. I'm not beefing with Ramona. I'm not beefing with Sonia. I'm not beefing with anybody. That's not the reason I wouldn't show up. It had to be something huge, and obviously losing someone very close to you was not even a reason for Bethenny to say, look, I will come into work. Even though I am mourning, I am coming into work, you know? And girl, the tea is that the production company, they told Bethenny, they were like, girl, listen, there will be no episode aired. You will be in every single episode because we're not going to air no episode that you're not in, honey. And she said she had the receipts. And at the time, Bethenny states that she actually was looking for reasons not to come back. She did not want to come back. And she says that, girl, she's so smart, bitch. She said that whenever you want to leave somewhere, you got to look at every single detail. You know what I mean? You got to look at every single detail because that one little detail can be your ticket out. So listen, she said she needed any little excuse not to come, right? And that excuse was, okay, girl, listen, this is where I took it because I don't know if you're confused, but I'm confused. And the TikTok comments, some are very confusing or confused too. So what I took from this is either two things. Either I'm professional enough, I will show up. You don't need to put that in my clause. Or I need to know that if I need to miss something, I will get paid. I don't think she cared about the money. I just think she needed a reason to leave. And she did say that, the bigger people were like, look, we can change that for you. Just come back. But she said because she wanted to leave so desperately, she was like, I need to find the smallest thing that I don't agree with and say, I'm sorry, I'm out, right? So I don't think she really even cared about that clause. But listen, girl, I had to watch that video 5 times, honey. I had to read the comments. I needed to simplify. Bethenny, girl, help me out, okay? But Bethenny, for me, she is such a great, she has such an amazing mind. Right now on TikTok, right? I don't know if you guys know this, she is doing reviewing drugstore makeup and telling you what's good and what's bad. She's not reviewing La Mer, Chanel, the bougie ones. She's reviewing, what you can find in your CVS or Walgreens. Like that, for me, that is just so smart, appealing to everyone. You know what I mean? Bethenny, if I were Bethenny, I mean, I watched her HBO show, The Big Boss or The Boss or something The Boss, I think. It was good, and it really did show Bethenny in a really amazing light as a professional and as, trying to juggle it, or not try, honey, because she juggles it very well. She juggles. Let me tell you this before I let you go, okay? She did a TikTok, right? And she was talking about how she had to... she's working on a show right now in Miami. I don't know what it is, but she's working on a show. And she basically is saying that she needed to stack up. I think that's the word that she used, stacking. And stacking, I guess, in the business world is basically saying how you can fit all in at once so you have more free time. So basically, she was talking about how she was already glammed to film her show. She had to do something for HSN, and she told her team, hey, I'm already in glam. Let's do this now. So she, basically the killed 2 birds with 1 stone type thing. So she can spend more time with her daughter and have more free time. She talked about how, she told production, hey, if we meet really early in the morning, can I be off earlier in the afternoon? So that's stacking, she gives you, if you're not following her on TikTok, and I know maybe we don't like TikTok, but please just, she really teaches you, so girl, listen. Bethenny is just so damn smart, okay? And I just really love the fact that Bethenny, she knows her worth. And I think that's something so important that a lot of us forget, our worth. We are worth a lot. And if we don't believe it, nobody will believe it. She believes that she is worth that and more. We need to start believing it, honey. And listen, you don't need millions of dollars in your bank account to know that you are worth it, honey. You are worth this, that, and all of it, okay? So, listen, Bethenny, girl, you're amazing. What do you guys think about Bethenny? Let me know in the comments below. And do you want her back on Legacy? Because, girl, I would. I would. I would love her back on Legacy, but it just sucks because, like, I want Legacy to be, like, a lot of seasons, and she said she would only do it for one. But maybe she can come and go. You know, maybe they can, like, change it up, and, like, you know, we can have, like, an OG cast, and then we can bring back people. People can go, people can come back. You know, just, like, a really fun revolving door of, like, you know, loved New York Housewives and hated New York Housewives. You know, girl, where's Ava at? But let me know what you guys think in the comments. I love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Remember that I go live every single day from Monday through Friday with Afternoon Tea with Sebastian at 5:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So make sure you check that out, where we spill tea, I take phone calls, and we have a great time. So check that out. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.